morning, honey.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get started. I'm a walker though, so I may, if you can't hear me when I'm walking around, just tell me to speak up. Because I honestly can't stand here and talking to this at all. Just so you know. My name is Kristen Rothary. I've been with Sensi now, it will be 4 years in July. This journey that I have been on has been absolutely, really? I'm not going to, no, I'm going to walk. Okay, it's easier if I walk. Yeah, I know, but I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Anyway, so can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. So 4 years in July, and it's pretty emotional because bottom line is I never expected to do this especially, and I never expected to be able to do what I've done with my business. Bottom line is recruiting is a huge part of your business. It's also a very scary part of your business. And I remember when I first started, I was never going to recruit. That was not part of my business. I didn't think you actually needed to. I just wanted to sell it. And that brings me into my story. So that's where I might cry. I have twins. My babies are 5 years old. Can you hear me? No? Oh, man. I'm going to have to use this thing. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, here we go. Okay. So, my babies are 5 years old. When I started Sensi, they had just turned 2. And I honestly wanted Sensi to help me be a stay-at-home mom. I was a full-time dental assistant. I've been doing that for 16 years, well 17, would have been 17 this year. And we were in a lot of debt. And it's something I actually never shared with anyone because I was really embarrassed. But this is my story. If I look back and I think, if I just wouldn't have taken that chance, where would I be today? And one night, I had gotten up, I didn't know how I was going to make my minimum payment for my credit card. Oh, seriously. And my husband and I had a big talk about it. And he said, we'll make it work. We're okay. And I'm like, no, we're not. And that's why I started doing Sensi. I ordered my kit, and we all get the same kit. So whatever you do with that kit is honestly in your hands. When I got the kit, I thought, holy Hannah, like, this is going to be awesome. Because I knew my friends and my family would love it, but not everybody had heard of it. And so I had to show them. And I couldn't afford the kit. And so, holy, I sound like I'm breathing real heavy. And so when I talked to my mom about it, and my mom said, I'm gonna give you the money to sign up. And I said, okay, like that sounds like a wicked idea, but so she sent the money, and I spent it because I didn't have any. So trying to explain that to your mother, that didn't go over that well. She sent it again. And she said, I know that you will be able to do something with this. Try it out. So I got my kit, and that's where my story begins. I had never wanted anything so bad but to succeed in this. Not just to prove to my husband, because he's like, who are you going to sell this to? Oh my God. I'll find some people. But my main thing was I wanted to succeed. And in the just about 4 years that I have done this business, I have not stopped. I do something each and every day. Recruiting, now we'll go back to recruiting. I never recruited. In the beginning, no thank you. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I'll just sell. But I kind of hit a wall where I realized I could be doing a lot more. So again, the whole comfort zone thing comes into effect. And how the heck am I going to seriously ask people to join my team? A lot of my girls are actually in here right now, and you can ask them. It was, in the beginning, it was scary for me. Now, look the heck out. Because I have no, can you hear me still okay back there? I now know that I am blessing someone's life by doing this. I just quit my dental job. I quit on my 3rd year centiversary, and I work my business full-time at home with my 2 little kids. You have to recruit to do this business. You have to step out of your comfort zone, and you have to realize, even though if you think they're not interested, they might be. Don't wait. You need to look for those people. One of the biggest things I did when I first started recruiting was I did the whole, okay, well, would it bless their life? Holy, they buy a lot of Scentsy. Like, I could probably do that. And that's where things really started, is I really went through my contact list and looked and said, okay, who could be that potential person? Have you written your list? I have a little book that I always go through with different customers, different people, and you put them in different lists. There's going to be the hot ones. You know for a fact that if you worked on them for a little bit, you probably could get them to be interested. You don't have to make them. They will do it on their own. The crazy part about it is there were so many times I wouldn't ask because I was too scared they were going to say no. And I didn't want to be that business person. But really, at the end of the day, that is how you grow. You have to be uncomfortable. Now, the cold list, that when I think about it and look at the different people in this business that I would love to ask, but I don't know how. How are you supposed to start that conversation? Well, I now have a little way I start that conversation. And what you need to do is simply ask them. How would that fit into their life? How would they figure out how to put Scentsy into their world? How did you put it into yours? How do you make it work? That's how I have to ask. But okay, I have to go over here, so I will yell. But again, where that goes back to is you have to get people to try Scentsy. Have they tried it? How are you going to recruit them if they've never tried it? We have 2 different things that are part of my business. Do I use them on everybody? Can you hear me? Okay. Do I use them on everybody? No. Each and every single person that you recruit or that joins your team has a different why. You need to learn their why. Figure out what is going to make them part of your team. Do they need money? Do they need time away from the kids? Do they just want to get their stuff for free and half price? Everybody has a why. Figure that out. One of the biggest things is relationships. If I go and try to recruit some stranger, they're going to be like, really? Like, seriously, that you're asking me to join your team? I truly believe in relationships. A lot of my team I knew beforehand. Not as so much now, because things have changed, and I have done different trade shows. But you have to have a relationship. It's a big deal. Now, a lot of the times when I have potential people that I'm thinking would be interested in Scentsy, maybe haven't tried it, I got to get it in their homes. Because if they don't have it in their homes, how are they honestly going to fall in love with the product? We all know as soon as you smell things, as soon as you get that connection, that warm, fuzzy feeling, you're hooked. So really, this little bag will do, oh, I sound like a salesperson. This little bag will do all the work. Don't you like that? That's a good slogan. I'm going to use that. So what I generally do is I'll put mini testers in there. they got to smell it. They got to feel it. They got to touch it. They got to open it and have that experience. They got to have a plug-in. Depending. Some people, if they have really wide open areas, then I will give them a big warmer. If they're in a smaller house, you know, like we have a bungalow and it's only, what is it, 900? 900 square feet on the main floor. So, although I'm crazy and I have too many warmers, some people don't want that strong of a smell in their house. So when you're break them in gentle. Don't give them 3 warmers to try on their first time. So give them a plug-in and give them a list. We have stuff every single month that Scentsy gives us. Every single month to promote. Scent of the month. I am a sample crazy lady. Love, love, love samples. Never used to, never did them in the beginning because I didn't think I needed to. Just let me know what time. Because I'll just keep yapping. So, one of the biggest things is I give a lot of samples out. Number 1, it's a great write-off for your business. And number 2, if they've never tried it, they're not going to buy it. So, washer whiffs, huge, huge, huge. And I love them. And samples, scent of the month. Give them a bunch of samples. Let them try them out. Let them see. Do you want to maybe hand out some of these just along so they can see what I'm talking about? Thank you. I have an assistant. Flyer of the month. This is huge. Again, in the beginning, I never, ever, ever, ever ordered scent of the month. Like I can't afford it. It was a huge part of my sales. None of my customers were going to buy it if they had never tried it. So I started doing it all the time. Every month I have scent of the month. You're getting PRB for it. Why not? It's another write-off for your business. Flyers. Each and every single month we get the different deals to do. Double hostess rewards. These. Always make sure your customers know what we have going on. And these little bags are really good for them. Catalogs. As soon as they get their hands on this catalog, they have this going, they have their samples going and they're smelling things. How can they not be interested? If they don't have a warmer, they don't have anything to try, how are they going to turn into potential recruits? Now, I'm going to go back, and the reason why I say that is because, you know what, generally, a lot of your customers, what do they end up being? Recruits. Good friends. You know, like it turns, this all goes in a circle. You have to make the steps to get those recruits to do it. Okay? One of the biggest things in my business, and like I said, everybody, we all do things differently. So possibility packets. I personally, I am brutal when it comes to packets because, again, I talk too much and I don't like to just give a packet. I want to explain my whole, like they want to know, but I want to explain my whole being to them. I want to explain to them why I am a Scentsy lady, why I'm proud to be a Scentsy lady, and I need that connection with them. If you have people, like I was saying, on that cold list that you're kind of like, well, you know, having coffee, is that a good idea? I don't know them. What am I going to say to them? You should join my team. No. You need to have that relationship. So with these packets, to break the ice, you can hand them out. Hand them to different people. People that seem, you know what, you might be good for this business. You search your recruits out. You prepare yourself for what kind of recruit they are. Whether they be a friend, whether they be your mom's friend's nurse, your dental assistant, you know, your next door neighbor. If you don't have that connection, don't try to recruit them. Build one. Give them the packet, say, you know what, I was thinking about you, and guess what? You should look through this. What are they going to say? No? Let them. Let them look at it. Let them take a peek. One of the biggest things when it comes to packages too is people love paper. People want to sit there, they want to read, they want that information. Because if they are nervous and if they aren't kind of sure about this whole business, you're giving them something to completely look at and not be like, oh, this lady's calling me again. You know what I mean? Create the relationships. I know I said that like 18 times, but really, really do it. So, what else can I tell you about this bag? You guys got to see all the little things?
Are your bags, Kristen, from Creative Packaging? Or?
You know what? I don't use these. They're too small.
Yeah, they are.
But these are nice. And I'm a yeah. So what I do actually is use this. Or you could use anything. But this is a huge bag. And it's awesome because it keeps everything together. You hand them the bag. Sometimes it's overflowing and it may not look that nice, but it gets everything in there. But I think the bigger the bag you give them, the more kind of like, oh, they feel overwhelmed. It's like when you go to a party. You know, do you take your whole, I'd like to, but do you take your whole entire everything, every being? No, because they're going to be like, oh my God, woman, seriously? Like, please don't bring any more stuff in my house. So yeah, this is the kind of bag I use. I just like having something really easy to cart around. Okay, where's my follow-up. That was one of the scariest things for me when I first started sensing. Having to call those people back. Like, oh, really? And that was the one thing my very first trade show, I got all these ballots, brought them home, and they sat there. Because I could not imagine having to phone a stranger and say, hey, do you want Sensi? Like, what are you supposed to say to them? And so follow-up for me, and still is, is a huge, I struggle. I do it. I'm really good at sending messages, but I'm getting better at the phone. People want to hear your voice. They want to talk to you. They want to know that you actually care enough to give them a phone call. And if you do this, it helps. Because I'm sure we have like a hole in our main floor from going back and forth, because I think it helps. And you're supposed to smile. I don't smile. I'm just like, you know. But follow-up is huge. Follow-up is big because you know what? That is the start of the relationship. Whether or not they like the product, whether or not they want to try something different. Maybe you didn't give them the right smells that they wanted. Maybe they want to ask you questions about your business. Give them a chance. Ballots now do get used in my house. My husband kind of gave me a hard time on them in the beginning because he said, well, why are we doing trade shows then? What's the point? I'm like, because you're getting your name out. You're getting your name out. They can see my sign. They can see my card. They have my little label. I get my name out. And I realized that that didn't work. So I had to call people. So the last probably 2 years, I would say, is when I really utilized my ballots. Follow-up is key. Even though you don't want to do it, try the pacing. Pacing works good. And just remember that could be your next recruit. Okay, I'll go back here for a minute. How do you guys like step by step?
Love it.
Okay, good. Like I said, my story is a story that I honestly have never told the truth about. I always said, even my own sponsor can admit to that. I never, I didn't want people to know my story. And I look at my story now, and it makes me very proud. But it's something that I have worked very hard for. You guys, we all have it in us to do it. It's that comfort zone of recruiting. I still get those nerves. It's more jitters now, I think. Like, I get so excited. I still laugh. My husband and I, work our business together. And he said to me one time, he goes, you get so excited when you see someone else join, or you see something good one of your girls do. Like, do you think that will ever end? And I said, no, it's a high. It's a crazy, and they probably are like, oh my God, Kristen. But they're used to me by now. Well, I hope they are. You know, and slowly but surely, you will find those recruits. But the only way you're going to get them is if you ask. So that kind of concludes my speech. What would you guys, I really want questions. What do you guys do for your, do you do borrow bags?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
You? Do you? Yeah. Do you think it would, do you think she'll love it?
She already loves it.
But
I
has
just
she
need,
tried it?
no. Yeah, she has one in her home, and I just gave her another 3 bars. But I need her to be addicted to it.
Yeah. She needs to be hardcore.
Yeah. Because then she'll sell it to all my in-laws instead of me.
You can.